It's okay.
First time.
Tomorrow we're doing Radhakund. So if you meet us at Kundeshwar Mahadev at about 6:30 or 6:45. What?
I'll come, yes. I'm in the Radhakund. I'm staying in the Srinivas Acharya.
Srinivas Acharya's place.
Yes, I'm staying there.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, it's 6:30 or 6:45. We'll be at Kundeshwar Mahadev.
Which?
Kundeshwar?
Kundeshwar, okay.
You don't know where Kundeshwar? You live in Radhakund?
Yes, I've been circumlating, but I never really...
Kundeshwar is the big Shiva temple right next to the market.
Next to the market.
You know where the market is, I
Yes,
hope.
yes.
That's where they sell, all the vegetables and everything.
I'll ask someone if you like.
Oh my God.
I just do the one which circumlated, just don't see here and there. Because it's so difficult there, means everywhere there's so many people, so I just walk.
Paramahamsa Paravilkacharya, also Teta, such as Shimad, His Divine Grace. Abhaya Charanara Bhaktivedanta Goswami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Sayama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavanam Ki Jai. Maturadam Ki Jai. Jagannath Swami Ki Jai. Munamai Ki Jai. Shrimanagala Devi Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaur Premananda Hare. All glorious the assembled devotees. All glorious the assembled devotees. All glorious the assembled devotees. All glorious to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Chiramani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharni Nivashesha Shunyavadi Paschacha Deja Tarni. So we have space for the Torah somewhere. Okay, so we are going to continue reading a little bit from the nectar of devotion about the qualities of someone in ecstatic love. So, Om Ganat Miranda Shah, Gananjana Shalagaya Chakshur, Meditam Yena Tasmai, Shri Gurave Namaha. When a devotee, in spite of possessing all the qualities of pure realization, is not proud of his position, that is called pridelessness. So in the Padma Purana, it is stated that King Bhagirav, just what I didn't want, was the emperor above. I accepted just out of service, not because I want to. Was the emperor above? Actually, that's an interesting point. After we finish this paragraph, was the emperor above all other kings? Yet, he developed such ecstatic love for Krishna that he became a mendicant. We actually read that. We actually read that the other day. Sorry about that.
Great hope.
Yeah, the strong conviction that one will certainly receive the favor of the Supreme Personality of God is called Ashabandha. Ashabandha means to continue to think because I'm trying my best to follow the routine principles of devotional service. I'm sure that I will go back to home, back to Godhead. So, just referring to the previous thing I just read about pridelessness and referring to the mala that I was just giving, because I thought I was going to connect that. So, the point is that as one advances in devotional service, according to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, impediments and anarthas can arise just from that very advancement. I mean, for example, let's say if any of you were to see Krishna today, you'd probably become pretty proud and want to talk about it. Put on the internet.
How can one say Krishna?
And you would actually start looking down on the other devotees. And then, especially if one gets the position of being a guru or something like that, then you get these Vyaspushas and these garlands, malas, and you get so many devotees, they want to touch your feet. And so if you start to really get into it, I remember there was one guru who just got upset because he didn't get his daily guru puja. It's like it's drugs, drug of heroin or something like that. So It's actually quite dangerous. So how do you deal with it? I mean, in other words, how do I deal with it? Well, first of all, I know I'm a rascal, so it's hard to take it seriously. But that's actually humility. One has to cultivate this consciousness of how much they're lacking in Krishna consciousness. One way you can do that is by comparing yourself to great devotees. Now, when I took that course in nonviolent communication, which I market as empathic communication, I was told when you're counseling someone, you never compare, if someone's in depression or something like, you don't go and say, let's say someone's father passed away and they're crying, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. And you just say, when my father passed away, I just saw Krishna's mercy was there. So if you compare someone in sorrow with someone else and try to alleviate their sorrow, it makes it worse for them. Or if you tell them how they should feel, in their hospital, they're in pain, don't feel that pain. You're not their body. So, but to make yourself feel or think less of yourself, or think of yourself less, either one of the two, then it's good to do that on yourself, to compare yourself with others. You understand?
Yeah.
Like Chumbak is a good dancer, so I would just say, if I was to say to her, I just saw this really fantastic dancer that really leaves you in the dust. She'd go, oh. How can you say that? But if she does it, that will help with her humility. Isn't it? So you see, the very same thing you're not supposed to do to others, you do to yourself, and it helps you. So I just look at these great devotees. I hear about Raghunath Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Srila Prabhupada, and even so many of my godbrothers, and I think, oh my God, what have I ever done for Prabhupada? So that helps us. That's one technique that I use. It really helps me cultivate humility. And then thinking, here's Prabhupada did all that, and what have I ever done in this lifetime? So then I start to think, let me just offer this to Prabhupada, whatever someone is giving to me. And one has to be introspective. The problem with getting all this praise is that you lose your ability to introspect, to see your own level of devotional service. And there's the saying, one who praises me is my enemy. So I'm not thinking all my disciples are my enemies. But it's a fact. You have to be very careful. But if you really think clearly, it's not a problem. I mean, I've never had a problem with it, because the more someone praises me, the more it makes me humble. It has the opposite effect, because I know reality. These lotus feet, oh my God. I'm the one who cuts the toenails on this lotus feet. Isn't it? I said, oh my God, so you really see things in reality. You don't see through their words. You see the reality, and that really helps invoke your humility. That's what I find. The praise actually helps invoke my humility. Someone offers me a mala, and I'm thinking, I don't really deserve it. So I become actually more humble by getting a mala. So don't make me too humble. I'm already humble enough, Of course, that's pride,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Sir, is it also
I'm just telling you
possible to
what
ask
I do.
questions through Zoom?
Whiching. There's some rascal there.
I think you're talking about
I
this
think I
rascal,
forgot
sir.
Some rascal. I forgot to mute everybody. So anyway, probably committed offense against a great devotee, some rascal. But anyway, so I'm just revealing my mind how I, can deal with it. And just like we had this opulent Vyas Puja in Sydney.
That's simple.
Simple, with so many people. And I was just thinking, another way you can think about it is that I'm rendering service.
Yeah.
Because it is not the most pleasant thing to sit for 5 hours
No.
and just hear people say things and just pray the whole time. Please let it be over. But some people actually get joy out of just hearing things about themselves.
Yeah.
Selfies.
Yeah, so these egoists.
So, what should make us joyful is hearing things about other devotees and about Krishna and the holy Dham. Or service to Krishna. And this should make us joyful. So anyway, we do it out of service. Thinking I'm serving Prabhupada, this is my service. And also I'm reciprocating, appreciating the devotion of the devotees. And Prabhupada said we identify ourselves as tax collectors. In other words, not like the old days, the tax collectors kept a portion of the taxes in India. Like with Raghunath Das's father and uncle, Govardhan Haranya. They actually kept a portion. They were supposed to. That was an incentive. But nowadays, you're a tax collector. Let's say, what was your tax collection government offices called there in Sydney?
It's like the Australian Taxation Office.
Yeah. It's called the IRS
Yeah,
in America.
ATM.
Internal Revenue Service.
That's it.
Which doesn't sound like taxes, but anyway.
Yeah. Just take it from your account. There's no collection.
Yeah, no, they take it from your salary.
Salary, that's right. Yeah.
Your salary. So it's not that the person who works there is actually getting a cut.
No.
No.
It is salary. Yeah.
So, I just work for Krishna and I don't get a cut. I give it all to Krishna. So that's the way you think.
Yeah.
All right, that's humility, which I am very good at. So in this case, that's contradiction, of course. Haribol, wow. Another one, sincere
Haribol.
disciple. Oh, Haribol, how are you doing?
Good.
Haribol, nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
I didn't know you were here.
I just came from Mayapur this morning.
Really?
Yeah, just came to see you.
Wow, I am flattered.
I'm going back tomorrow to Noida. They have inauguration.
They're having what?
Inauguration.
Inauguration of the temple in Noida?
Yeah, 10-year anniversary.
Oh, 10 years, because it's been there already.
Yeah, so going for that.
Wow.
And then 36th back to Mayapur.
Back to Mayapur. 36?
36th.
26, yeah. Oh, that's when I'm going.
Yes.
How are you going?
Flight.
What flight?
Air India.
I'm on the flight too.
Oh.
You're going in the afternoon. I'm going in the morning.
Oh,
We'll see you there for
okay. How'd you know it was going in the afternoon?
Right? Talking.
some contact.
All right, it's great to see you. Okay, so anyway, we're reading from Nectar of Devotion. All right, Ashabanda. After this, in this connection, one prayer by Rupa Goswami is sufficient to exemplify this hopefulness. He says, I have no love for Krishna, nor for the causes of developing love for Krishna, namely hearing and chanting and the process of bhakti yoga, by which one is always thinking of Krishna and fixing his lotus feet in the heart, is also lacking in me. As far as philosophical knowledge or pious works are concerned, I don't see any opportunity for me to execute such activities. But above all, I am not even born of a nice family. Therefore, I must simply pray to you, Gopi Jana Vallabha, Krishna, maintainer and beloved of the gopis. I simply wish and hope that some way or other I may be able to approach your lotus feet, and this hope is giving me pain, because I think myself quite incompetent to approach that transcendental goal of life. The purport is that under this heading of Ashabandha, one should continue to hope against hope that some way or other he will be able to approach the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So, of course, that involves shraddha, faith. And that faith is in Srila Prabhupada, for me at least. It says Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada that even though I fall far short in so many ways, because we have this connection with Prabhupada and I'm maintaining the connection no matter what, then I know I'll be successful. So that's the faith. So when one is sufficiently eager to achieve success in devotional service, that eagerness is called samut kanta. This means complete eagerness. Actually, this eagerness is the price for achieving success in Krishna consciousness. Everything has some value, and one has to pay the value before obtaining or possessing it. It is stated in the Vedic literature that to purchase the most valuable thing, Krishna consciousness, one has to develop intense eagerness for achieving success. This intense eagerness is very nicely expressed by Bilamangal Thakur in his book Krishna Karnamrita. He says, I'm eagerly waiting to see that boy of Vrindavan, whose bodily beauty is captivating the whole universe, whose eyes are always bounded by black eyebrows and expanded like lotus petals, who is always eagerly glancing over his devotees and therefore moving slightly here and there. His eyes are always moist, his lips are colored like copper, and through these lips there comes a sound vibration which drives one madder than a mad elephant. I want so much to see him at Vrindavana. Amazing, amazing statement. So in other words, he's remembering, these are all vibhavas. Remember? Vibhava? Alamana? Udipana? So these are all vibhavas, and he's remembering, that's why we have the deity worship too. So you look at Krishna, I just want so much to be with him. Or you look at Govardhan Hill. Or you look at, for me, I look at Prabhupada, I just want so much to be with him. And this increases, it's a very personal thing. It says, he looks at his eyes bounded by black eyebrows and expanded like lotus petals, and his lips are colored like copper, and the sound vibration that drives one madder than a mad elephant. In the same Karnamrita, there is another statement about the chanting of Radharani. It is said by one of the associates of Radharani, O Lord Govinda, the girl who is the daughter of King Vrishabhanu is now shedding tears, and she is anxiously chanting your holy name, Krishna, Krishna. Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram, Patitam Mam, Vishamay Bhavamado, Kupya Tava Parapangajas, Dita Duli, Zeprasam, Chantaya. O son of Maharaj Nanda, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other, pick me up from this place of misery and fix me as one of the atoms or specks of dust at your lotus feet. That's how we should be praying to Krishna. Prabhupada said, when we chant, we should chant like a child calling out for his mother. Ay Nanda Tanuja Kinkaram. So this verse in the Shikshashtika perfectly characterizes this particular mood. And then, then we can chant. Actually, the Shikshashtika is a perfect replica or instruction as to our mood when we're chanting the holy names. Just like if we're feeling, for example, if we're feeling some material desires, and then we pray, Natanam Najanam Nasundarim, Kavitam Va Jagatisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmani Shre Bhavata Bhakti Hoitukitwaye. And so many of the verses, actually practically all of them, will bring out a mood of intense hankering if you chant them and understand them properly. You know, Yugayitam Yubhishena Chakshusha Pravashayitam Shinyayitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahename. You know, it's just they bring out, just by chanting them, you start to hanker. So that's why when I give initiation, I always, well, generally, I can't say always or generally talk about the Shikshashtaka. You know, I talk about what not to do, 10 offenses. And then the positive thing is the Shikshashtaka. You find a verse in the Shikshashtaka that you resonate with. Resonate means you connect with that particular day. Oh Krishna, I'm your eternal servant. Or when will this day come? Isn't it? Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur's song, Kabhi Habe. You ever heard that song before? Kabhi Habe Bolo Se Dinamar Aparada Guche Harinami Ruche. When will that day come? When I get rid of the apparatus, or fences. Harinami Ruche. When will I have a taste for the holy name? Sometimes devotees come to me and they say, I'm lamenting because I have no taste for chanting. I said, that's a good sign. Not that you have no taste for chanting, but the fact that you're lamenting about it and feel bad about it. Most people don't feel bad about it. They just keep going, I came to chant, I'm doing what I can do. But the fact that you came to me and you said that to me, that is wonderful. And of course, they don't understand that. At first, they say, what do you think? It's wonderful I don't have a taste? No, I didn't say that. Listen to what I said. It's wonderful that you're lamenting, and that lamentation is purification, Prabhupada said. Prabhupada actually made that statement. Lamentation is purification. Not lamenting for something material. Oh, I lost my little dog, Fido, whatever. Or I lost my wedding ring, something. Sometimes the wedding ring will drop off in the sink. You ever had that happen?
No, fortunately.
I see that.
Unfortunately, no. I will get another.
It drops off. Oh, he just buy another one. So it's no problem.
Exactly.
See what it's like.
So people lament, it's after the sink. That lamentation is not purification. That lamentation, the proper attitude should be, Krishna, relieve me of this burden. Not the husband. But just the burden of carrying jewelry around. It's not that, get rid of the wedding ring is like getting rid of the husband simultaneously. That's not what I was talking about. But it's just that you see, Krishna, I don't have to worry about it anymore. Isn't it? Krishna takes something away. Yashaham anugranami harishe tadanam shanani. You didn't hear Prabhupada lamenting when Krishna took everything away from him. He made his business, bankrupt.
Yeah.
Family, of course, Prabhupada voluntarily got rid of his family. He got rid of he renounced his family. But, he wasn't lamenting. He was just like seeing Krishna. So, but lamenting, we should be lamenting, how much we lack a taste for chanting. Isn't it? So that's the proper attitude. Then your chanting becomes very pure and purified. In the book Pajavali, what's that?
It's my Radhe.
Radhe. Oh, Radhe. How's she doing?
She's okay. She's in Thailand.
She's in Thailand?
Yeah.
What's she doing in Thailand?
She just went for changing her Padmavati's visa.
Oh. Thailand. Oh, she had to leave and then come
Yeah.
back. She's coming back?
Yeah, she's coming.
When?
Like before the Abhishek.
Oh, we're going to see her too. That's nice. These are disciples. Radhe. So Radhe was born in Vrindavan.
Oh,
Yeah. The Western body, but she's born in Vrindavan. And so we had the initiation in the Gold Coast.
In the saucepan.
What?
In the saucepan.
Saucepan?
Yeah. Like the yagya,
Oh, yeah.
he didn't come on.
Oh, yeah, there's a whole story about it. We can tell this story. It's an interesting story. We were waiting for the yagya, the purohit,
Oh, yeah.
and he didn't show up. And so, and everybody's there, all the guests and everything like that. And I just said, okay, I guess I'm doing it. So get some wood. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, get some wood, get some ghee, get some dye,
Wow.
some color, food
Yeah.
coloring. And then we had it together within a half an hour. So we do this interesting occasion.
You conducted the whole marriage?
Yeah, it wasn't a marriage.
No.
No.
Oh, initiation.
Initiation.
Oh, okay.
Even my initiation was like.
Oh, you don't talk about his initiation.
You can't stop there.
Why don't you tell the story about your initiation?
So I got initiated in Govardhan. So it was in
4 years
ISKCON.
ago.
Yeah, 4 years ago. At the ISKCON temple. So we're doing Yagya Maharaj. Guru Maharaj is talking, and then all of a sudden we see is like my mother-in-law is sitting, and my father is trying to pick something from her hair. I was like, what's going on? And I just looked at it. And then where we had the yagya, so there was like honeybee on top.
Oh, this is the honey
And then they came after me,
Yes.
and I was running down the street with all the bees.
Yeah. So everybody got bitten by bees except me and
I didn't get bitten.
Yeah.
They were just running after me.
Yeah.
They were all over my body, and I was picking them up, but none of them bit me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the temple. At this
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Oh, the ashrams. Yes.
Yeah, that was an interesting initiation. It was right in the Purnahoti.
Yeah.
We did the Purnahoti was there, and then the bees came out right after that. At least we finished the whole thing, the
Yeah.
Purnahoti, yeah. Okay, so let's continue. We had some very interesting initiations of both of you. In the book Pajavali by Rupa Goswami, there's the following statement about Vrindavan. In this place, the son of Maharaj Nanda used to live with his father, who was the king of all coward men. In this place, Lord Krishna broke the cart in which the Shakatasura demon was concealed. At this place, Damodar, who can cut the knot of our material existence, was tied up by his mother Yashoda. So a lot of these places, of course, are on the other bank of the Yamuna River. Devotees should go there tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's your only
set
day.
that up,
You know, Ravel, like Brahmananda Ghat and all these other places,
Yeah.
you should actually go tomorrow.
Contacted a guy, so.
Yeah, that's really important, especially Ravel. Ravel is my favorite place, because that's Radharani's appearance place. So if you see these places, you just start to remember, this is where Krishna did this is where Krishna did that. A pure devotee of Lord Krishna resides in the district of Mathura or Vrindavan and visits all the places where Krishna's pastimes were performed. At these sacred places, Krishna displayed his childhood activities with the cowherd boys and Mother Yashoda. The system of circumambulating all these places is still current among devotees of Lord Krishna, and those coming to Mathura and Vrindavan always feel transcendental pleasure. Actually, if someone goes to Vrindavana, he will immediately feel separation from Krishna, who performed such nice activities when he was present there. Wow. Such attraction for remembering Krishna's activities is known as attachment for Krishna. There are impersonalist philosophers and mystics, however, who by a show of devotional service want ultimately to merge into the existence of the Lord. They sometimes try to imitate a pure devotee's sentiment for visiting the holy places where Krishna had his pastimes, but they simply have a view for salvation, and so their activities cannot be considered attachment. It is said by Rupa Goswami that the attachment exhibited by pure devotees for Krishna cannot possibly be perfected in the heart of fruitive workers, karmis, or mental speculators, because such attachment of pure Krishna consciousness is very rare and not possible to achieve even for many liberated persons. As it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, liberation from material contamination is the stage at which devotional service can be achieved. What verse? Prabhupada is saying, it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, liberation from material contamination is the stage at which devotional service can be achieved. Yeah. Brahma Bhuta Prasanana, Sajati Nakanshati, Samak Sarveshu Bhuteshu Madhvakti, Labate Param. At this stage, Labate Param, one can achieve that devotional service at the Brahma Bhuta stage. For a person who simply wants to have liberation and merge into the impersonal Brahma Jyoti, it is not possible to acquire attachment to Krishna. This attachment is very confidentially kept by Krishna and is only bestowed upon pure devotees. So how do we get it? We go to the pure devotee. Krishna say tomorrow, Krishna dite par. You have the power to give it. You have Krishna. Krishna is yours. I'm simply running behind you chanting Krishna, Krishna. So the point is, if we actually become attached to Prabhupada's instructions in Prabhupada, then we get pure devotional service. Devotional service, as I mentioned many times, is not given by Krishna. Bhakti is not given by Krishna. It's given by Krishna's devotees because bhakti is independent, according to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Krishna say tamar, Krishna dite par. So in other words, we serve Krishna's devotee, Prabhupada, and we don't simply go to Radhakund running around, oh, hey Radhe, Rajadevake, hey Nanda, Shuno Kuta. What is that? That's from the Goswami Ashtaka. Hey Radhe, Radharani, where are you? And you don't see me running around. Radharani, where are you? Where are you? Of course, the Goswamis did that. They were on that level of devotional service, but we should go, hey Prabhupada, what's your instruction? You know, we should be doing that. Anxiously, what do you want me to do? Then we get Radharani and Krishna's mercy. Okay. Even ordinary devotees cannot have such pure attachment for Krishna. Therefore, how is it possible for success to be achieved by persons whose hearts are contaminated by the actions and reactions of fruitive activities, and who are entangled by various types of mental speculation? There are many so-called devotees who artificially think of Krishna's pastimes, which are known as Ashtakaliya Leela. Ashtakaliya Leela means the eightfold pastimes. Krishna has 8 times during the day, and if you read books by Govinda Leelamrita and other books, you'll hear about these 8 times of the day, it's pretty cool, I have to say. Like Krishna, the first time Krishna gets up in the morning, well, he's out with Radharani all night as a date with Radharani. So they're out in the bower, and then they're woken up by the sound of the peacocks and other sounds, and the sakis are waking them up, and the mantris are waking them up. They say, get up, it's going to be discovered you're not at home. So Radharani and Krishna, they don't want to wake up. It's just like in the material world, perverted reflection is you get up in the morning, I don't want to get up. You wipe your eyes. It's the same. Perverted reflection is actually, we're a perverted reflection of what happens in the spiritual world. So Krishna and Radharani, they don't want to get up, and she wants to give Krishna more of a hug. Just want to let go of Krishna. You can see how things are perverted in this world. Anyway, and then finally they get up, and they're so confused, because it's like you get up in the morning, it's hard to think straight. Actually, when I get up in the morning, the first thing I do, actually I chant a round of japa before I get out of bed. I'll tell you my secret. I have these non-Tulsi beads that are just, you don't mind if they're moochie. So I just chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. And then by the time I'm finished with one round, it says, Haribo! Jump out of bed. Rather than just jump out of bed immediately. Oh! So by that time your blood is already boiling. So anyway, you hear the holy name. Or some devotees put on Prabhupada or something like that. And then you really feel ecstatic. And then your whole purpose of life is there. Anyway, Krishna's Ashtakali Leela, he gets up and he and Radharani are so confused. When they put their clothes on, they put the wrong clothes on. He puts on Radharani's dress, which is yellow. Blue, sorry, which is blue. And Radharani puts on Krishna's dress, which is yellow. And so they both go home, and they're questioned. Yashodamaya is questioning Krishna. Where'd you get the dress? And he says, it's Balaram's. Belongs to Balaram. And then, of course, Krishna has all these little marks on his body. And she's wondering, they didn't clean Krishna last night too well. And Krishna's still tired because he didn't get any sleep the whole night. So anyway, this is Ashtakali Leela. That's a little coming attraction for you. Don't go read it right now. So it's artificial to think about, like if we were all thinking about it. Right now, I'm getting up in the morning. What is Krishna doing? Krishna is also getting up the same time as me. Instead of thinking of going to Mangal Arti, you're just thinking, we're serving your spiritual master. You absorb in Ashtakali. The pure devotees, yes. But if you artificially do that, Prabhupada talks about it. Sometimes one may artificially imitate these, pretending that Krishna is talking with him in the form of a boy. Or else one may pretend that Radharani and Krishna both have come to him and are talking with him. Such characteristics are sometimes exhibited by the impersonalistic class of men. And the interesting thing is, our minds are so crazy, you can convince yourself it's happening. It's amazing. If you really are proud and think you're an advanced devotee, you can actually convince yourself you've seen Krishna. I'll give you an example. Sometimes, I don't do it with Krishna, but sometimes I try this. I try thinking of a song that I really like, and then I can hear that song. You can try that sometime.
Yeah.
You think of a song you really like, and then listen carefully. You may hear it. You can trick yourself because we are subject to illusion. We have imperfect senses. Of course, tendency to cheat like that. So we have all these imperfections. So you can see things that are not there. Or you could now see things that are there. So if you really think you're a pure devotee, you could think you actually honestly think you're seeing Krishna. I mean, even like during Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, they thought that Krishna was dancing on the heads of the Kaliya serpent when it was a fisherman. You know, they saw a guy with a lantern, and they thought, oh, there's Krishna, the light from the hoods of the Kaliya serpent are there. So we have to be very careful. Yeah, you can think you love Krishna. You can think you're Chandravali's associate. Like someone I know. Do you know anyone like that? Not her. Don't worry. She's a humble devotee, but one of our friends. So it's really, the mind is so wicked in the conditioned state. You can hypnotize someone, just like hypnosis. And they can think they're a dog. You know, a stage hypnotist can do that. He could say you're a dog, and the guy will get down on all fours and start barking. So we have to be really careful of this mind, because I'm pointing to the brain. Really careful. So, as soon as an experienced devotee sees all these caricatures, he can immediately evaluate such rascaldom. If such a pretender is sometimes seen possessing imitative attachment to Krishna, this will not be accepted as real. It may be said, however, that such attachment is like giving a future hope to the pretender so that he may eventually rise onto the actual platform of pure devotional service. Okay, that's enough for today. So any questions? I thought that was interesting about it. Try that with your mind. I mean, I could do it with my mind. I can actually hear a song if I want to. You know, some song that I like and know, of course, I can hear. So, any questions? Questions? Yeah.
So, it sounds like we're supposed to be realistic, we're supposed to be honest about where we are.
Yeah.
But where we are, or at least where I am, is that the mind is just jumping like a monkey.
Yeah,
So
that's honestly.
Should I just be there? Or
No.
or should I be trying?
No, it's an impetus. My mind is jumping like a monkey, so it's impetus for hearing from advanced devotees, an impetus to do more service, and it may be an impetus to engage according to your psychophysical nature, too.
Because I thought we're supposed to pull the mind back from jumping like a monkey and think
We're
about
supposed to fix it on something. Pulling it back means fixing it.
And we're supposed to think about Namaguna Rupa Lila.
Yeah, yes, ultimately, but it can't be artificial.
Isn't it always artificial?
No.
Until it's spontaneous?
No, it's not artificial. It has to be in accordance with our level of devotional service. I mean, each and every one of us is attracted to different aspects of Namaguna, Rupa, and Lila. Like if I was to start thinking, and I'm going to see right now, it'd be kind of nice if I was thinking about it. It's like Krishna pastime. Anyway, I am attracted to Krishna's pastime, so I don't know if that's an appropriate comparison. So, but it also means, if the mind is just like jumping from here to there, that we may not be engaging in as much a service according to our psychophysical nature.
So then is it appropriate while one's chanting to be meditating on one's service?
Praying, yeah.
I mean,
I wouldn't say planning out one service.
I mean, that is naturally what happens.
Oh,
Naturally, when I'm chanting, I think about the student at school is struggling with their letter sounds.
well then I would pray for the student. I would
Yeah,
pray.
as I do, I say,
Yeah,
"Krishna,
that's fine.
Krishna, how can I help them learn their letter sounds?"
Yeah, Krishna, help me.
Exactly what happens.
Yeah, so you're praying for service or the intelligence, how to accomplish a particular service. That's an impetus for chanting. I mean, let's say right now we're working on designing the temple for Radha Lokananda. If I'm thinking about, where the window's going to be or what color the tent, that's not appropriate.
That sounds more Krishna conscious than helping a student with
No.
learning their letters.
No, but you're praying to Krishna for the intelligence and how to do it. So I may pray to Krishna for the intelligence and how to do this or that, but I shouldn't really be planning out, like how, like let's say you're an accountant, how to do the accounting of the temple or something like that. You should be praying to Krishna for the ability, and the understanding that your mind is wandering here and there should be an impetus for you to pray to Krishna to help you fix your mind on him and his service. I mean, I find that in thinking of Krishna, it really needs to happen naturally. Like if I try to force my mind, let's say, I'm chanting Hare Krishna, and I try to force it, you're supposed to think of Krishna. Think of Krishna stealing butter. But I don't want to. Think of Krishna stealing, just my mind rebels even more. So I think, really the thinking of Krishna has to come like the flowing of a river.
You always suggest that we meditate on Shikshashika.
Shikshashtika, yes, a prayer. Yeah, that's the point. That chanting is a prayer, a request.
I guess I'm struggling to understand how to distinguish between what's natural and what's invitation, artificial.
Natural means it comes. It comes. Let's say if I'm chanting, I wish it would happen like this. Let's say I'm chanting, and then the image of Radha Lokananda comes in my mind. Of course, sometimes I do it artificially. I stand in front of a picture of Radha Lokananda. But I don't have to force it. It's not that, I don't want to look at this. Yeah. It's just like, it's naturally attractive. So it's not artificial at that point. But if I'm just trying to force my mind doesn't want to go there, then I have to just pray Krishna. That I have no attraction. I'm so unfortunate. Again, Shikshashtika. Isn't it? Nam Namakari. Well done, Nija Sarvasaktish. You've invested all your transcendental potency in these holy names. And there are no hard and fast rules for chanting these names. But I'm so unfortunate that I have no attraction. So, Shikshashtika. I find that I can relate to any state of my mind while I'm chanting to a verse or several verses in the Shikshashtika. And if something happens naturally, or all of a sudden, I'm thinking of Radhakund, which hasn't happened. But let's say if I'm thinking of Radhakund, think of Govardhan. Then I'd let it flow. But otherwise, I guess most of the time we're thinking of Shikshashtika.
I was once at a holy name workshop where the speaker said that we should only be hearing the name, and someone actually raised their hand and said, "Is it all right if I meditate on how I'm going to dress Radha Golokananda?"
I think that's fun.
And he said, "No.
Woo-wee!
Only be hearing the sound of the name."
But that's the dressing of Radha Lokananda. I don't know. I mean, I would say it's proper to think of sun. I mean, that's a purely, without a doubt, spiritual activity. I mean, I hate to reveal this, but sometimes I chant, and I'm thinking of swinging the deities or swinging Krishna. So to me, that's it's not like planning out, what time I'm going to take the car to the airport that morning or something like that. Which is, I mean, it's spiritual, but it's not really on the same level. Or planning out. I mean, just like today, I was trying to plan out how to get to Ayodhya and then go from there to Vishakhapatnam, which is actually almost impossible. Because there's no planes from Ayodhya to Vishakhapatnam. So I was like going through all these things, but not while I'm chanting. But while I'm chanting, I'm thinking of addressing the deities. Because with me, if I'm thinking of addressing the deities, I'll think of, now I'm going to get chastised by Mother Krishna Priya. So that wouldn't be such a good idea. She's the lady who chastised me for addressing the deities.
She's probably listening right now.
Oh my God. Sorry about that. we talked about that today.
She knows that you talk about that. I don't think it'll bother her.
But if I was thinking of cooking something nice for the deities, I think that, that's a different level than just planning out how to teach a little kid a lesson, I think that there's different levels of, I mean, even though both activities are spiritual, they're dedicated to Krishna, there's a different level, I mean, of deity worship.
I do find that, like you brought up accounting. One time I was struggling filling out a tax form. I was literally struggling for hours.
Yeah.
And then eventually I was just like, I need to chant my japa. And within about 10 seconds, I knew exactly what to do.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like I was praying to Krishna. I was actually giving up. I was actually just like, okay, this is my time with Krishna. And then, like, oh, okay.
Because you were trying to be the controller, and then Krishna was showing you he's the controller.
Right.
So that happens quite often. So I don't think we should just really limit what people can think about while they're chanting japa. You just have to hear. I mean, what if Krishna comes into your mind? What if Govardhan comes into your mind? What if you're just dressing Krishna or swinging Krishna? I think that's pretty cool.
Is it okay though then if you instigate that yourself first, without it?
Well, it shouldn't be artificial. It shouldn't be artificial. That, okay, when I chant, I'm going to think of swinging Krishna. It should be something that flows. Like I said, flows like a river. It has to be something that's really part of your heart. It has to come from the heart, not from the brain. So I think that would, there's certain things that just come from the brain, and certain things come from the heart. The bhav comes from the heart. Imagine swinging Krishna and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. It's pretty ecstatic. Is it?
Yes.
But, like you do, putting out forest fires and chanting Hare, that's a job.
Yeah, that's not ecstatic.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, there's another fire near Brisbane. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I don't think that is appropriate.
No, that's not appropriate.
But it has to come naturally. It's not just, I got it all planned out today what I'm going to think about while I'm chanting japa. Yeah, you have to hear the sound vibration. That is a fact. It's not that you let your mind just go to whatever pastime and not hear. So that it would be artificial to not hear. You have to hear at the same time. That it should come naturally. Uh-oh. Anyways, I sometimes people try to impose these different ideas in people's minds. Or other people go to the opposite extreme, saying you should be chanting, thinking of the Ashtakaliya Leela while you're chanting. And that's artificial. If it comes, while you're chanting, you think, it's just pictures in your mind. It's not a thought, it's a vision. It comes into your mind, and Krishna's getting out of bed. And what's gonna happen when Mother Yashoda discovers he's wearing the wrong clothes? If you're anxiety about it. It's like that devotee, in South India, when he was a devotee of Lord Ramchandra, and he was fasting. Lord Chaitanya went over his house for prasadam, and Lord Chaitanya said, "Where's the prasadam?" And he didn't cook because he was fasting. He couldn't figure out how to cook because Sita had been taken by Lord Ram. By Raman. Sita had been taken by Ramana, right? So he was actually lamenting about that. And it wasn't a logical thing in his mind. Because if it was logical, he would think, well, that was in the past, it didn't happen. But because it was the emotional thing that actually happened, not artificially. Of course, later on, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu found in the Karma Purana, the story, that Sita wasn't taken by Raman. Sita was actually taken by Agni or kept safe by Agni. And Maya Sita was there. Anyway, it's an interesting discussion about chanting the holy name. What should the mind be doing? I find that, you hear the sound vibration of what comes naturally will come into the mind. You don't try to shut it down when it comes in. As long as it's like deity worship or something like that. Inspirational. Or Govardhan.
I like what you said about turning it into a prayer.
Yeah.
If the anxiety comes, what do I do about this student? Then you just say, Krishna, please help me
Yeah.
with my service.
Then you become dependent.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned many times that, I'm chanting and I'm thinking about a particular disciple who's a rascal, which is about 50% of them. So I often joke about that. I said, Krishna gives me a lot of opportunities for prayer. We had one initiation here where the people didn't show up. For 3 hours I was waiting, so I was trying to chant, and I was thinking, I'm angry. They didn't show up for 3 hours. I was standing there at the palace, ISKCON Palace, for 3 hours. And it was just like, Hare Krishna. Those rascals. Hare.
He was marching up and down.
Yeah. Finally, they show up. Not there. I was back here. I said, I will never initiate those people in this lifetime. What?
Yeah, they shave their head.
Yeah, you know the story.
Yeah, I know the story. I remember it now.
Yeah. So I said, I don't want to see them again. They're not taking initiation. So they come to my door here, knock on the door. I think you answered or something. They said, they're here. Did I say I don't want to see them or something?
No, yeah, I don't know, I was like the pig in the middle.
He said, they're here. I said, And Lord Nrsingadev was manifest. So I opened the door, and there's these, they had shaven up completely. Previously they had all this hair here, all this hair there. And they look so cute.
We needed to know the end of the story. 24 hours.
I just said, oh. I was angry with you, but you look so cute. Boys, not girls. Yeah, then I said, all right. That was an interesting initiation. So, anyways, certain times we were too angry to concentrate. So you take a break. It's a fact. Sometimes you get really angry or an anxiety or something. It's very hard concentrating. Then you pray to Krishna. Okay, it's time to end. It's late. And tomorrow we have Radhakund Parikrama. And you're all invited. Where are you staying?
Vrindavan.
Oh, you're staying in Vrindavan. How are you going to get back there?
I got a bike.
You got a bike?
Yeah.
Oh. Everybody else. So we got Radhakund Parikrama, and if you want to go, meet us at Kundeshwar Mahadev at about 6:30, 6:45.
Yeah.
If you want to go.
Sure.
It's not too early for you. All right.
Cold time of day to be on a bike.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's cold to be on a bike, but.
It is. But he's warm-blooded. So, okay, so.